Next, from the state capitol, we talk with US Congressman Rodney Davis. Congressman Davis talks about the political climate on Capitol Hill in the wake of the recent government shutdown. He also discusses the effort to secure funding to rebuild the locks and dams on the Mississippi and Illinois rivers. This runs about 6 minutes.
Congressman Rodney Davis, thanks for joining us again on the Illinois Channel. And here we are at the Illinois State Capitol during the veto session. What brings you here to Springfield?
You know what, I had an event tonight and I just got done a little early in Madison County. Had a chance to stop by. I wanted to congratulate my good friend Jim Durkin on being named the minority leader and walked in to do that.
There's been a lot happening. Last time we talked was at the Farm Progress Show back in August, and obviously, as everyone knows, since then we had the government shutdown, we had the debate over both Obamacare, raising the capital credit rating of the United States, the debt ceiling. Not to spend too much time on the past, but just what is your Monday morning quarterbacking review of those events, and to what extent will they carry over into the new year?
Well, I think what's happening right now with the disastrous rollout of Obamacare is proving that we were right before the shutdown to send a bill over to delay the implementation of Obamacare's tax provisions and tax penalties. And right now we're seeing that it's not fair. It's not fair to tax people who don't sign up for insurance when they can't go onto a website to actually do that. So that is playing out, and I think that the American people are going to demand this delay that we demanded before the shutdown. The shutdown, I'm glad it's over. It was a time that I did not enjoy in Washington, and it was a time that unfortunately led to us having to pass a law to get Republicans and Democrats to actually sit down and talk to each other. That shouldn't happen. But there are some points in Washington going on right now that I think give me optimism. They should give a lot of people optimism. We were able to put together our first conference committee of the year for the Farm Bill. I was blessed enough to be named to that conference committee as a freshman Republican, and I think we're going to see a good bipartisan common sense solution. And we also passed the WRDA bill, the Water Resource Reform Development Authorization Bill, and what it passed unanimously in our Transportation Infrastructure Committee and only got 3 no votes on the floor of the House. You know, things are looking up for bipartisanship out in D.C.
I was going to say that's something I wanted to bring up. We had talked about that, the WRDA bill, which is again having to do in part with financing locks and dams. This was an authorization bill, not an appropriation. So it basically, for those who don't understand the terms, kind of gives you the okay to spend the money, but it doesn't give you the money. But it's one of the steps along the process. Just as a brief review, what is the situation with the locks and dams on both the Illinois and the Mississippi River, and why does that matter?
Well, it matters a great deal in my district because the top 2 products shipped down the Mississippi River are coal and grains. So the coal mining jobs in my district, in Macoupin and Montgomery counties, depend upon getting coal out onto the river, into the open ocean to sell overseas, because the policies in Washington right now aren't allowing for Illinois coal to be burned as much here in the United States. So coal families rely upon the river. And our farmers, we all know, have to export grains out into the open ocean, into the world market, because our farmers here in central Illinois, they feed the world, and it's underappreciated.
Let's go back for a moment to Obamacare. This is another thing that really happened, the rollout, and it's been a disastrous rollout. I think everyone, even the president, would say that. When you talk to 2 groups of people, one, your fellow lawmakers, let's say the Democrats on the Hill, what are they saying to you privately? What kind of things are they expressing?
Well, for the Democrats' point of view, you got to remember, this is a fight on their march toward a universal health care system that's been waged for 40 years. So getting changes to their only victory, even though it cost them 70 seats in the House in 2010, is tough to do, which is why you saw the shutdown. The Senate wouldn't pass any bill, even the last bill that we sent over that said simply, come talk to us, appoint conferees. They wouldn't do it because they don't want to accept that the Affordable Care Act is the disaster that it is. They didn't want to accept that the rollout was going to be disastrous, and frankly, I can't understand why the Obama administration didn't fix this website and the issues that we're seeing that have gone on for over a month during the 2 weeks when no one was watching during the shutdown. The president likes to say that signing up for insurance under the Affordable Care Act was going to be just as easy as signing up for travel on one of the travel sites like Travelocity. Well, I got news for the president. If Travelocity's site didn't work for 30 days, they'd be something called bankrupt.
And when you go to, have you had a chance to meet with your constituents at various town halls or in other ways? And what are you hearing from them relative to the implementation of the President's Health Care Act?
A lot of the constituents that call us now are concerned because they're losing their health care insurance. And the president specifically said that if you want to keep your policy right now, you can keep it, period. And that if you want to keep your doctors, you can keep them, period. Well, that's dishonest, period. And that's what our constituents are finding out.
All right. Congressman Rodney Davis, thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
You're watching the Illinois Channel.